This is Sajek, one of the remotest places of Bangladesh. Life here is not easy. People rely on jhum, a local method of agriculture developed over the centuries on steep slopes. Traditionally, jhum is a sustainable practice, but in recent years, challenges such as land pressure and natural resources degradation have made it very difficult for people to produce enough food. Like for Mita Chakma.
We cannot always buy good food because we are poor. There were days when we didn't have food on our plates. We had to live on wild potatoes only.
So we sit with FAO team to see how we can improve the productivity with better quality seeds in particular and diversify the livelihood.
So FAO decided to work here in order to help those farmers increase their food security and diversify their livelihood options away from relying solely on jhum.
This is very much as an innovative project because it actually goes beyond the immediate 6 months or 12 months time horizon into a longer term process of trying to do something more sustainable that will contribute to development objectives in the longer term.
We used to throw the seeds randomly. Now I do it properly. I create vegetable beds. I put trellis for the bitter gourd and also for bottle gourd. I use stakes for yard-long beans.
We have trained the farmers in different kinds of agricultural production, for example, homestead vegetable gardening, fruit production and management of orchards, poultry keeping, and all of this also with the importance of nutrition, dietary diversity, household hygiene, as well as household food safety.
I did not know about vitamins in vegetables before. After the training, I feed my children the way I have learned. Then after having those vegetables, my family is getting proper nutrition.
Quality seed is a serious problem in the CHT. If you have quality seed, it means that you can actually increase your agricultural yield by 25 to 30%. So in areas where there is high food insecurity, it has huge potential to contributing to higher production.
This is Kulumoni Chakma, one of 200 leading farmers that have been trained by FAO as community seed producers.
Previously, from 10 kgs of jhum rice seed, I produced only 200 to 250 kgs of rice seed. This year, after receiving the training, I produced around 800 to 850 kgs from the same amount.
We worked with 200 particularly entrepreneurial farmers. In this way, they learned how to produce, preserve, package, and also market seed. And we hope that in this way, they will be able to establish themselves as seed providers at community level.
Before, I produced only 200 to 300 kgs of rice. Last year, from 20 kgs of rice seeds, I produced 1,050 kgs of rice.
The food security has definitely increased for this year. The rice production actually doubled from what it was in the previous year, which actually allows the people to be able to feed themselves through their own production for 8 to 9 months, as opposed to what is usually 5 to 6 months. Also, 100% of the farmers that we trained were able to create a vegetable bed and use these vegetables in order to consume at the household level, but also about 50% of them were able to sell these in the market and able to generate some income from their family. The seed producers were also extremely successful. They have been able to actually produce enough for us to be able to do an additional distribution to all of our 6,200 beneficiaries, and this was a really big success for us. Not only did it help the seed producers because we paid them for the rice that they produce, but we also raised awareness at community level that the people can count on these producers next year when they need more seed. So this was a very significant success, which we hope will continue in the future as well.
This year, I sold 120,000 taka worth of rice seed to FAO. With this money, my family is happy and better off than before.
In the longer term, that training will be the major benefit that I think that we leave behind from this kind of project. And people will learn through a training program, through a facilitated exercise, but their neighbours will also pick up and adopt and copy and take on the ideas that have been introduced into the community.
We cannot afford to buy fruit saplings. Each fruit sapling costs 100 to 150 taka. We live on hand to mouth. Should we provide for our children's education or spend money on saplings? It's not possible for me to buy them. Now we have received saplings from you. I have planted those saplings. Now it is my duty to look after the saplings. That is all that I think now.
Everything that FAO does tries to look into the longer term. So for example, the fruit production, we've trained the farmers how to plant the fruit saplings in such a way so that in 3 or 4 years they will be able to generate continuous income from the fruits that come from the trees. Of course, this is not something that we can't see the results yet, but we are confident that in 3 or 4 years' time this will be able to contribute significantly to the family's food security.
In partnership with Ministry of Chittagong Hill Tracts Affairs and with the strong financial support of ECHO, I believe that we've made a significant contribution to improve the livelihoods of the communities that we've worked with in Sajek and Thanchi.
The results are very promising. Probably needs to be consolidated, but at least we have reached a good degree of self-sustainability.
I would say that this project has generated high hopes and optimism. And since agriculture is the main livelihood for the people living in those areas, it holds key to the improvement of quality of their lives. And we look forward to having more such partnership with FAO in improving the lives of the people living in Chittagong Hill Tracts.
The saplings that I got from FAO, think about the time when the saplings will grow big. They will start giving fruit. I will be able to sell them and save the money. I want to buy cattle with some of that money. Some I will save for the children and for their education. Then I also need to save some money for myself when I will grow old.
We believe that we are successful, and when we speak to the farmers, we can also see it in their eyes and in their faces. Most of the time I don't know what they're saying to me, but I can sense that something is different. And when we talk to them and we ask them if they will continue doing this kind of agriculture in the future, they say yes, they say they will try. And we hope that we can continue to work here so that we can support them. Obviously, changing livelihoods, changing lifestyles requires support. And FAO is more than happy to continue to work here in the future if the opportunity arises.